looking dapper.
I'll need that disabled for now, though. There we go. This will be my mess hall, by the way. There we go. It's almost up to the point where they can start gathering them. So there we are. And you can now continue making lice love. Got a thimbleweed seed. How much more algae can we access? We could actually access quite a lot down here, as it happens. Sure, let's go and do that then. Let's just run that all the way down. And dig out all of this algae while we're there. We dug out this room? No. Could you dig out this room? Hopefully. Actually, cancel that. Jobs mastered. There we go. Apple Fumble has mastered the farming job. Well done, Apple Fumble. I'll have you go ahead and take on the courier job. Little by little, people are getting very, very good at their work. Insufficient slime. There's oh, actually, no, that's clay. Okay, that should no. Fine. Right, want this built rather sharpish. Actually, I want that cancelled rather sharpish. Could you please go and grab the fungal spore? Actually, the fungal spore might not go anywhere. Thinking about it. It's fine. Just get the wall built. We'll worry about the fungal spore later. The main thing is to isolate that room so that it can be purged of all of the germiness, and then we can build out to it. Once we've done that, we're going to have a little canteen built over there. This room will then be cut off, and we'll allow it just to be an oxygen generation room. We'll pump the hydrogen outside the base. I don't actually care about the hydrogen right now. And possibly not ever. But the oxygen, though, will be pumped across and then dumped out into a couple of little spots around the place. Place is reasonably cold. So as a result, this place is not dumping out any of its CO2 anymore. Could build a Wheezewort up here, actually. You know what, sure, let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if that helps at all. I might just get rid of the little gas pumping system that's up there. And we'll just use cold air from elsewhere to help with that. And this can just be managed by the Wheezewort. Well, the little grey bug things, those are called hatches. And they consume matter and produce coal. So if you farm them and feed them enough stuff, for example, you can feed them polluted dirt, they'll keep you with coal. That'll run your coal generators. I don't have a Wheezewort for that one. Really would like it if you'd uproot this. I think I'm grabbing the seed every now and then, but then I'm not doing anything with it, so... electric grill. That's fine. Do something with that. Frost bun. I'd need sleet wheat for it. I guess I could. But we'll hang tight for now. People can just eat those wherever we grab them. Gas vent overpressurized. Drat. Okay, we need a new plan there then. What a high pressure. Oh, we need plastics for it. Well, let's have a look. Germ-wise, that's unfortunate. That is actually unfortunate. Okay. What about down here? The problem is, there's plenty of room for the gas. It's just... Actually, no, it's very highly pressurized over there. Alright, what we can do then is run the vent all the way down. Like that. And just deconstruct this part. There you go. Hopefully we can get that done fairly quickly. How are all of our oxygen generators doing? This one has no power, actually. Which I don't mind about right now because I don't intend to do too much down there. As for everything else, though, everything seems to be moving along okay. How much can this hold? I have no idea how much this can hold. But it's not outputting germy air, even though there's germs on the water that's going into it. Which is very useful. Almost got a full refrigerator, which is amazing. But people are getting a bit stressed. In fact, Leafin is mega stressed. Why is Leafin so stressed? Oh well, Leafin can go and rest in there if it needs to. What's the temperature of the base like? It's actually getting a little bit better. We've got a hot part of the base here, certainly, but there's a decent amount of coolness moving around the rest of this. Yeah, I need to sort out the O2 in there quite badly. We will be getting to that, though. In the meanwhile... want to replace... Well, actually, that one can stay there. We're going to deconstruct this, though. And... I would say... probably going to build... a... hood to funnel the gas. Well, it really doesn't matter. With this sort of thing, we could have more production if we have the vents in between two producers. So, if we have a look at the electrolyzer, it takes up 2 spots. I could have one electrolyzer and then a pump, and another electrolyzer. You know what? I could do it like that. Sure. I don't strictly need the pump to be handling all of that gas flow, but it's fine. In fact, I don't even need... Well, thinking about it, there's quite a lot I wouldn't need with that. The main thing is that we want to be cooling it down, so I could have this be an insulated room. Wherever I put the heater, I want the heater to be cool. Basically, I can't stick the heater in a room that's completely insulated because the heater will just generate so much heat, pumping it out into the room that it's in. Eventually, the heater itself will melt. So I'm trying to think of the best way of dealing with that. heat rises, so having the heaters down the bottom, causing the heat to move up. Would seem to be the better idea for me. So let's have a look at what we can do with that. We would want utility. I doubt the air being produced here is going to be particularly hot anyway. So yeah, we're not going to be adding too much heat to the air being made. So if we just pump it through there and then out to the rest of the base, should be fine. I'm going to move that vent down here though. We'll have the gas pump about here instead. And this needs to make sure that the gas coming down here is oxygen. That much is certain. But it doesn't strictly matter if it's anything else. I could just push everything else out. Yeah. Okay. How are we bringing the gas over here? So we'll bring the gas down there. That's fine. If the vent pushes out to this, which then pushes into a gas... Yeah, okay. I will actually need to break this down. I didn't really properly consider how I was going to place it, but we should be able to get all of this working. Deconstruct this, and we may end up with quite a tight little system over here. I will need power there. May as well hook it up to that as well. And then ultimately, power over on this side as well to run the vent. I want to deconstruct all of these pipes. So, and also electricity that's up there. Actually, no, I want to leave the electricity there because I will probably be hooking that up to electrolyzers above it. Jackson, Aavak, I got my mother hooked on your Let's Plays. Oh, that's very nice. I hope she's enjoying them. Hello, Sir Aavak. How are you today? Glad that you liked my kitty. Oh, I'm fine, thank you. Getting a little tired now. Aavak, why not just do the same thing they do with the AC unit at your house? Don't have one. Put the heat-producing part outside your base. It's a good call, though. It's a very good call. No reason why I shouldn't. But yeah, the ACs are incredibly uncommon in the UK. I think they must be so common in other parts of the world that people can't even imagine that there would be a place which wouldn't need them. But they're fantastically uncommon over here. I mean, if you have a house in the UK that comes with an AC, that's the equivalent to if I came to whichever country you're in and your house was a dragon. It's just really rare. Some office buildings will have it, but only if you've got ridiculous amounts of staff, or like you've got a server farm in there, or something along those lines. It's just we don't get those kind of temperatures over here. It's really, really rare. Right. We're gonna need gas moving out of you over to here. Wait a second there. Wait a second there. Cancel those ideas. We're going to want a gas bridge. Which means I'm going to need to move you again. Drat! But let's get that moving. Gas bridge going here, I think. So, well, actually, don't deconstruct this yet. I'm not sure if this will work, but it might work. The gas bridge might actually just function as is. I'm not certain about that, though. You know what? I'm going to use gold amalgam for it. Oh, no. Drat. Cancel. There we go. Hey, Turner. How you doing, mate? Have you tried any of the other teas? Oh, that you sent me, Bubbles. No, not yet, actually. Yeah, people get heat stroke over here when the power goes out and we can't run the AC. Yeah, that's just not a problem over here. Stone Wolf mastered the farmer's job. Good, good. Loads of things. No longer have any algae once again. Ah, it's because they can't reach that. There we go. Stone Wolf up here. That is now completely a vacuum. There should be no potential for germs in there, so as a result, we can now mine through. Now, no gas output, no gas input, no. No, it doesn't work. That's unfortunate. Oh well, it was worth finding out. Wires. Let's get rid of all of these from there. I live in Brazil, in the middle of the capital. There are no oceans here. 40 Celsius with 10% humidity can't compare. Yeah. If it gets to 40 Celsius in the hottest of summers, there are significant amounts of like news warnings. Like that's newsworthy over here, and people start getting issued warnings to be careful, and that the young and infirm are at significant risk. So yeah, that it just doesn't happen typically. Let's get that out. Let's get these gas pipes out, and indeed get the gas pump itself out. And then reprioritize all of these because I don't want to waste all of that goodness. I think the gas is leaking in from the side there. There we go. I love they just grabbed the puffed poop practically straight out of it. Right, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to need a gas pump here, followed by a thermal regulator here. Actually, this one should definitely not be made of gold amalgam if that's what it's trying to make it out of. It should in fact be made out... No, it's being made out of copper. That's fine. We'll just go for that one. That's fine. Then we are going to want probably the gas valve made here. No, not gas valve, gas filters rather. Make that here. Do I really want to be cooling air that I'm throwing straight out? That's an important question, actually. No. No, I don't. The only air I want to be cooling is the air that I'm going to be using. So with that in mind, again, I only want oxygen being kept. So I could even have the gas filter itself out here as well. Actually, I'll pop it up like that because it'll have a neat little animation this way. We'll pop the gas vent over there, and instead we'll bring up cancel that actually. We will go for gas pipes. We're going to deconstruct a bunch of them. Pretty much this entire area needs to be deconstructed. Because we should only be sending the gas across to the outside that we actually intend to cool. Alright, no, that'll be a little bit better. We'll need this one broken down again. My lord. But we're going to have a much better system at the end of it. In fact, we can just have the gas vent just out here. There we go. That can just go straight out. That doesn't strictly need to go away, actually. No, that one can say disable the disable deconstruct. No, actually that isn't being deconstructed. Never mind. Time for me to retire for the evening. Keep up the good work, you fantastic fellow. Oh, thank you very much, Muffin Tea. It's very kind of you to say. Right, that should be pumped in there. We want. Honestly, it doesn't matter that much. We can quite happily have that pump out there, and ultimately, if we place down the gas pump about here, and then have the gas go like that. There we go. There we have it. All hooked up. That should all be made reasonably fast. Once I've done this, of course, I'll be taking away the algae deoxidizer. You won't need it in this room anymore. Now, I don't believe that we, strictly speaking, need clean water for the algae deoxidizers. Oh, we've actually gotten to the point now where it's only food poisoning germs in here. Not too bad. I could easily kill those off if I had a liquid tepidizer in there, but that does take out a lot of power. I bought this game because of your stream. Truly awesome. I watched another YouTube video where a dude's colony lasted 8 minutes. It was great. Oh, it definitely can go like that. We're doing good at the moment, though.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
Thank you very much, Paradigm 9. How you doing, mate? Hey, Splat, how you doing? Pee, vomit, especially runny poo. I don't ask questions. I just don't want to know the answers, really. No. It's also slime water, so, you know, some of it has come from outside. But considering this, I mean, it's bad, okay? It's full of slime lung. That's not even meant to live in liquids. It's that germy. Right, I need to get this set up though, because eventually this is going to be my area where I'm producing all the oxygens. Actually, I could tighten this up a little bit if we move this gas pipe across. If I do this instead, I'll give me a little bit of room. Well, there we go. Splatcat needs no introduction on my channel, and nor, I would hope, there's Paradigm 9. But, in case you're very new here, Splatcat, Paradigm 9, they're also amazing streamers. Splatcat, also an amazing YouTuber, and you should 100% check them out. If any of my mods are around, then perhaps one of them can pop down the follow command for Splat and Paradigm. If not, actually I should be able to check. I don't even know what the command is. Darren, this is the problem when you have your mods make all the commands. You're like, I don't know if there's buttons. Push buttons. But let me go and find them. I feel
dapper.
So amazingly incompetent on my own stream sometimes. Actually, life in general. Right. See, the problem is I would usually be sneaky and go over to your live channels to find your links. There's Paradigms. And there we go. And it's pretty much the same thing for Splat's YouTube channel. There we go. Right, we've got that area cut out. Let's see. That's all sorted. This needs to be told what it's filtering, and I only want oxygen being filtered. So there we are. Now it's not going through this because it hasn't got a gas output, which is fine. The first thing I want to do though is make sure that this is actually pumping it through the rest of the base. So half of it's immediately going to our exosuits. So our people who are having to go out into the slime lung infested pea water zone don't have to do it in their Sunday best. And more importantly, don't wear that back in. The next part though is now we're going to have some cool oxygen being delivered to the base. Now, generally speaking, you don't want to just have this constantly being split off. Because if you do that, why is that not going anyway? Gas out. Have I turned that the wrong way? No, it is the right way, so I'm not sure why the CO2 that is filling up this pipe is not going in there. Let me just make sure that's all hooked up correctly. Seems it. Oh, it might not be able to do it because this has nowhere to go. Right, okay. But now that I've got that done, I want to start pushing this O2 around. Now, the thing you don't want to necessarily do a lot of is that if you have lots of branches, at each branch it's going to share it evenly. So the first branch, this branch here, 50-50. Over here, if you have another branch, well, now it's 50-50 of 50. So, you know, you're only sending a quarter one way and a quarter another way, and then it's further and further and further divided. So you generally want like a main trunk and only have splits off that main trunk infrequently. I guess having some of it go into the exosuits, though, makes a lot of sense. We don't need to worry about that one in particular. So as long as we keep that in mind, I could even have the O2 just kind of pushing its way out from the bottom and then traveling up through the base. Because oxygen is one of the heaviest gases you're going to have in the game. So with that said, we're going to pop it over there and then all the way down here and pop it out there. And then just hope that this makes its way through the rest of the base. It won't, realistically speaking, but we can but hope. The other way of doing it is using pressure valves that will shut off an area under certain circumstances. But for the time being, we don't even have a proper area set up in here anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. I'm going to allow that one to be as it wants. I can't play this game. I put time in, then something doesn't work the precise way I envisioned it, and I rage quit. Yeah, that super happens. That happens a lot. You overthink this game to the point that it's laughable. Oxygen not included or Rimworld? Well, I mean, that's a hard one for me because I really enjoy being able to play around with like the physics and stuff and just doing clever stuff like, oh, I've got I don't know, an O2 problem or something, or well, I could solve that by just generating more oxygen, or I could just take all of this pea water and then run it over some lava so it turns into steam, which is now no longer pea water, and it's purged all of the germs in it, and then condense that somewhere else into water and then run it through an electrolyzer, and now I've got oxygen. And, you know, I like that about it, but then I've got Rimworld where I've probably put in like several hundred hours. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, really, I guess. Rimworld is infinitely moddable. Also, I can make a colony of people who eat other people and then wear their skin as pants. How can you compete with that? How can you compete with a game that literally, when you can have a character who's got a happy thought because his pants have faces on them? People's faces. People he knew. That's hard to compete with. That is really hard to compete with. I'm actually going to cancel that because I want all of the air to have gone through the cooling system. But you still know your water is pea-based. It's bad again. About to ruin your life. You don't want to know where our water comes from. Well, I mean, you know what? I have no idea how costly it is to purify sewage water and then reintroduce it as drinking water. I have no idea if that is cheaper than just getting clean water. It also depends. I mean, if you're in the desert, I guess it probably would be a lot cheaper to reprocess your sewage. I mean, clearly, if Paradigm's got an issue with this, I can tell you never wanted to be an astronaut as a kid. That's like one of the big things. Like, you want to be an astronaut? Well, you're gonna have to drink your wee. On second thoughts, if man was meant to go to the moon, we would be able to breathe nothing, and also survive in. Okay, that analogy falls apart because there's no actual thing that you need to do to survive in space. You technically need to be able to do nothing, actually. I don't. You just don't need to breathe. Or you can power yourself from the sun. That wouldn't be too bad. Can we get all of these deconstructed, please? I could have done that in a much more efficient way. Pop. And then all that. I've seen enough moves to know I don't belong in space. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I feel exactly the same way about, like, really, really deep down in the sea. It's like, if I was meant to go this deep, my body would inherently be able to handle the pressure. But if you're putting me somewhere where the normal reaction my body's going to have is to explode, or rather to crumple like a paper bag or whatever, it's like, yeah, not sure I should be here, really. I don't think I was made for this environment. Right, I want airflow tiles made of copper, sure. And we will break all of these things down. I saw an event horizon and decided I'm never going to space. Yeah, that I think that's pretty much the turning point for most people, actually. It's like, do you see? Yes, I see. I see that this was a terrible mistake. No, we weren't meant to be here. Boom. Why am I destructing the long way? Because I was being silly. In a nutshell. What? Is this working? Because it doesn't feel like it's working. Pipe blocked. By what? How is the pipe blocked? Alright. Fine. You want it your way? Sure. We'll just delete all of that and then rebuild it. It'll be fine. Very weird, though. Yeah, definitely gonna need more algae, though. Like, super now. Is it any easy to get out? There's never easy to get algae. That's a stupid question. However, that's a decent amount down there that we could tap into. So, let's dig in this direction. Once again, my duplicants can gasp in the chlorine for a little bit. There we go. Actually, what priority was that? No. We need this to be super high priority. Yep. I have no idea why that gas valve didn't work, though. It might have been that the gas filter didn't like it, that I built it... I didn't... I built it, like, second. Maybe something along those lines. I'll run up some wire into it there. And we'll see how that goes. The filter is backwards. Let me have a look. Have I just done that again? I could easily have done it again. That's input, that's output. That's also output. We'll see. Maybe I did have it backwards before. My bad. We also want to tell this to filter gas outputs. I want that to be oxygen, please. So once all of that's done, there we go. And then it immediately stops again. Am I just not understanding the way this works? Output. into the gas filter. It's trying to filter oxygen into this. Contains oxygen. Maybe there's not enough oxygen to send to the AC unit. Okay, that could be possible, I guess. Okay, let's deconstruct this and see what we can do. Maybe I'll just... I mean, I don't need it anymore, technically, so I could just send it straight through via a normal pipe. Maybe that's got part of the problem. Could we get that done on a high priority? Right, we're starting to move algae back up now, so algae oxidizers will kick back in. But I really do need to get this system done soon. You know what, for now, just pop the fungal spores down here. Since they're producing polluted oxygen. I think. Oh, no, it's not the fungal spore that's doing that. It's, there's water on the floor. My bad. Completely missed that. Hopefully someone can get over there to that in a moment. Oh, maybe they won't. Let me... Well, it's set up as a 9. I'll set her up as another 9, though. We'll delete all of those, if we can. Arrows mastered the farmer job. Let's see what we can do for you, then. Alright. I think you're going to be another courier. I just want as many people as I can to have just ridiculous carrying capacities. Ooh. Pressure. Is it too low? Barely breathable. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, this is not good at all. Only a handful of places are actually producing oxygen right now. Well, the other thing I can do then is excavate more slime, I guess. Since that would at least give us more slime to pop through the algae distiller. Actually, hitting up that would be useful too, but... Right, okay, that's got good. Right, let's get this pipe just running through normally. It could be that it didn't have an extra space. It may have been that it didn't like that. I'm not sure though, but we'll see. Either way, should be able to get that going. No, come back. You don't need to breathe. Okay, you've technically got some of the best breathing air in the entire colony. Even though you're going outside into the slime zone. Oh, there we go. It just didn't like having it right next to a pipe bridge. You know, that's fine. Whatever. Right, so that's going to start moving around the colony now. It'll be filling up the suits. And also slowly pushing out into the rest of the colony a little bit. Natural. Where's the natural gas coming from then? That I don't get at all. Oh well. Right, so next up, we are going to want to set up some electrolyzers. Now I could have two, one above the other, pushing gas down. Doesn't really matter too much. I think it would probably be better to have them here instead, because then we will be pushing the hydrogen up but oxygen will also be getting pushed down. Eventually, I can do something with a gas gas pump at the top, then to grab that hydrogen and use it elsewhere. Gonna need liquid pipes. I can use this one, or I can try and make use of the grey water. How much can these consume? Electrolyzers require 1 kilogram of water and produce, well, 1 kilogram of water per second. My duplicates produce a redonkulous amount of polluted water whenever they use it. Because 5 kilograms of clean water go in, and 11.7 kilograms of water come out, polluted water come back out. And we're basically converting that straight back into clean water, so we're doubling it up, but I'm not sure how much we'll be able to do that. We'll give it a shot. We'll find out. All the way up. So not only, the paradigm here, not only are they going to be drinking pea water, eventually, maybe. They're washing in pea water at the very least, but they're going to be breathing it too. So, you know, that's what that one's for you, especially. Bop. Now, the problem is, this is going to be pulling quite a lot of power. This little net circuit is already dealing with a lot. But those rarely turn on. Well, I'm going to say we are going to want that. So let me do that a bit of higher priority. There we go. We're going to run that on a different network to try and make sure it doesn't go too crazy. There we go. So, Aavak said he should stop before I went for my nap 2 hours ago. Yeah, I know, right? I always plan to stop and then never do. It's just one of these things that happens a lot. Right, okay, so we're pushing clean air around. At this point, this area can be switched up. We don't need an airlock here. We can deconstruct that, and we can also deconstruct this one. And we'll get those deconstructed at higher priority, in fact. We also want this over here. Let's not do that at super high priority. We don't need it. There we go. I could have some beds in there. I'm liking the idea. The main thing is just pushing this O2 around the base. We can just get that to just be pushed up. That being said, the other thing we could do is run the O2 up there. What's this place like? There's barely any breathable air in there. I mean, these are pumping out a fair chunk of CO2 and it's just gathering in here. How hot is it? Reasonably warm. It's reasonably warm in there. I could just pump the CO2 out. Just hurl it out of the base. Which is definitely an option. How hot is the... sorry, how cold is the oxygen? You're not empty, I can see. 14 degree oxygen. That's actually quite nice. And this is 27 degree oxygen, so... we'll see. Of course, they can't quite reach over there. I'm going to have to build some ladders up to it. There we go. This is an example of his dedication or crazy obsession with the game, that someone who is 8 hours behind him is going to bed before him. Also, I've got a gamer bladder, So I don't need to go to the toilet very often. That helps too. Overpressurized. Much less so up here. Well, if they are getting overpressurized, then I guess it doesn't matter as much if I send this up. How high, though? I don't want to pop it in there, so I'm going to say we'll vent it there. And likewise, if this one's getting overpressurized, I should send it further up as well. But this one's a little bit more of a tricky one, since I don't strictly have it as well laid out. Sure, we'll go all the way up and then pump it out up here. So we'll be putting the oxygen at the top and at the bottom of the base, effectively. I could have it... I mean, this place is fine. It's got a dedicated oxygen supply in there. There's no issue there. Right. Let's deconstruct. Everything, please. Well, it's working. It looks like we may actually be producing more oxygen now than we're breathing, which is good. And Leafin is mastered electrical engineering. Wow. You're not going further in that tree, though, because... Well, you can't, actually, but... that would get really expensive. Leafin, can I get you to do this? Yeah, I can, good. We've actually almost got three other farmers done. Okay, we're going to let this run for a cycle or two. And just see how this goes. We're going to start seeing hydrogen building up at the top. I can use that to generate power. That is definitely something we can do. The way we would do that is to ensure that we're only pushing... We'd have to have a vent... a gas pump here, pulling out the hydrogen. Probably sending it up to one of the Jeffries tubes to then be run across over here into the power room, which would be hooked up to the batteries as well. Since that way we generate more power. How much does a hydrogen generator produce? 800 versus the coal's 600, but the coal one is producing 900 when tuned up, so we should see something like 1200 here. That would be quite nice. That would be very nice, actually. But I think this little loop here, not necessary. Did I have got a wheeze what? No, I did not. Oh, I probably did. I probably dug it up. I just didn't go and get it. Could you please uproot this? Once again. Because I'm a massive idiot and I keep forgetting. Also, while you're down here... no, don't go for that one. Go for this one. Can't do it. Can't do it until they've actually got it there. Kind of annoying, but oh well. Alright, let's get all of this dug out. That should be all of the gas. I'm actually going to have to grab that one as well. There. And then take all of this out down here. But I am liking that this is running only when needed. That's actually really good. Yeah, it's 20 past 8 for me. So we've been streaming for 7 hours so far. What can we farm what? Let's have a look. Can we farm them? Oh, can we farm the electrolyzers? You kinda can. You can sort of make an electrolyzer pay for itself and then produce a little bit of extra, but you'd have to find a way to get infinite water, which isn't outside the realms of possibility, but it would be awkward. It's probably not worth the effort involved. Oh, the Weezeworts. No. You can only gather them, unfortunately. Let's pop the Weezewort in there, please. Pop. Leon has finished being a farmer. And so it can become a career. But unfortunately, no. The Weezeworts are... You just find them on the map and that's that. Yeah, what on earth is this? Anti-entropy thermal nullifier. A self-sustaining machine powered by what appears to be refined neutronium. Absorbs and neutralizes heat energy when submersed in hydrogen. Now that is interesting. That is very interesting. I'm not sure how I'd use it, but... Hey, Tex Cub, thanks for the host. Wow, 206 viewers. You must have been having a very, very good night. Were you streaming? Well, obviously you're going to be streaming 7 days, but was it Horde night or something? The Nut Hut is raiding. Yes, they are. Lay out the tea and the coffee. We don't want to be poor hosts now. What do our mothers think? My lord. That is a wonder thing. You found the magic thing. Really? Is it super awesome? Absorbs and neutralizes... I mean... 10 grams a second of hydrogen to operate. I assume it just... Well, it says it absorbs and neutralizes heat energy. So it would completely reduce heat to nothing? I mean, that would be terrifying. If it were to do that... Well, I mean, I guess it would depend on the medium it's in. How much heat it could absorb from the stuff around it, etc., etc. Not sure, really. An interesting thing, though, to be certain. Between Hordes tonight, day 21 Horde tomorrow night. Ooh, nice. Was it Undead Legacy you were playing? For those of you who aren't familiar with Tex, I sometimes host him, depending on when I wrap up my stream. But Tex tends to play 7 Days to Die. And for those who have been wondering when the next time I'll stream that is, well, if you go and follow Tex until I start streaming again, that's... oh, in fact, and after, because we usually stream at different times, that would be your port of call for 7 Days to Die streams. In fact, that's how I find out most of the mods that I enjoy playing with.